What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to some more Marvel Snap. Today, obviously, since we pulled Galactus in our cash opening, we're going to have to play a Galactus deck. I did pull a couple other new Series 4 and 5 cards. I've actually been passing on quite a few. But so far, with the decks that we'll have to play in the coming days, we have Galactus, which we're going to play right now. We have Absorbing Man, which I'll try and get you guys a deck for pretty soon. And then I also went ahead and bought She-Hulk the other day, so we'll have a deck showing her off pretty soon as well. But for now, the matter at hand is Galactus. The deck list you see here, we pulled from Willow Snapping. I'll try and put their Twitter in the description, but if I forget, because sometimes I spend some time in between recording and uploading, if I forget, I think it's just at Willow Snapping on Twitter. Go check them out. They stream as well. But it's a pretty decent, solid idea for a deck that's been working in my practice. So I think if this is the early revision and it's going to get better from here, this deck actually might be somewhat competitive. But basically, the entire purpose of the deck is you play out your Wolverines and your Sabretooths and your Novas, which want to get destroyed. And then either, if the game plan is playing that way, you drop Galactus, and then you follow up Galactus with, you know, Death and Taskmaster, and you'll probably have your Wolverine and or Sabretooth on that location as well. But if Galactus isn't looking good, you can fall back on a Destroyer game plan as well. And then you have Psylocke, Electro, and Wave to try and make sure that you can get out Galactus before turn 6, so that you have turn 6 to drop Chavez, Destroyer, Death. Chavez is basically just in here as a make you more consistently draw the other cards, and then just in case everything goes terribly, you have Chavez as kind of a last-ditch play on turn 6, just to make sure you have something to play. The deck is pretty tough to play well. I have ranked up a little bit with it. There are times where just the allure of playing Galactus is too much to resist, and I can't say no. But we'll see how we do. We do have Galactus in our opening hand, which is really solid. I think I'm going to try and compete for Mojo World to try and get our opponent to fight us for it. Because you want to destroy as many cards as you can with Galactus when they destroy the location, so that you can try and get a cheap death as well. Now, Wakanda is one of those locations where, since you're following things up with, like, Destroyer and potentially Taskmaster, sometimes you want Wakanda to be the location that survives, because your opponents, if they're a deck that plays Shang-Chi, they will definitely try and predict that after you play Galactus. They'll try and predict what your final plays are going to be. So it's good to be ready for that. I think we just go Daredevil as well. They played Psylocke, so I don't think it's going to be a negative deck. Let's see what they got. It's a Hazmat deck. Okay. This is not the best hand I've ever seen. But we can Psylocke this turn, Galactus next turn. As of right now, we'd be destroying 4, 5, 6, 7, which would give us a 2-cost death. Looks like they're trying to go for like the Wong Onslaught combo type thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would give us a 2-cost death. We really need them to play at least one card here, and they do. It's a magic. I actually think we snap here. We're going to snap and Galactus. They may retreat. This actually isn't even a guaranteed win. This is one of those games like I was talking about where if our opponent has a Wong, we can just lose. Not a Wong, a Shang-Chi. Actually, I think our Wolverine's going to get destroyed a second time, which will give us a 0-cost death, which is pretty sweet. Alright, and our play here is just Death and Taskmaster. And if they have Shang-Chi, It will kill the Death and the Taskmaster, but we'll be left with 10 power left behind. Shang-Chi will have 3 power, so it won't get doubled by Throne Room since our Galactus is at 4. So this should be a win, I think. Sweet. Victory. Nice little 66-point Throne Room. Never hurt nobody. Let's get another one. That was honestly like not the best draw. I mean, you got Galactus in your opening hand, so like you can't call it bad draw. But like it wasn't, you know, your ideal hand. It was still a playable hand, and it worked out pretty decently in the end. So I'm not complaining. But I just wanted to show like not everything goes according to plan with this deck, and sometimes that's okay. That's why I really like the way Willow made the deck, was you have alternative lines if things aren't working out well. Bar with no name. Okay. Alright, this is probably one of those locations that just completely screws us over. But we'll see. I'm gonna see what we can finagle here. Gonna go for Psylocke for now. Death is really not great. Or Wave is not great here. Really don't know what the play here is. I don't think we can win this, period. Zola is also like the worst card we could have pulled here. So yeah, I think we just get on into the next one with that one. That was pretty rough. That's fine though. Sometimes Bar with no name is just gonna come kick you in the face. Probably could have kept stacking Big House while we waited for all 3 locations. That might have been something to do, but I also don't like to stack one location early. Because the other thing that I try and do with this deck when I'm playing it is try not to telegraph that I'm playing a Galactus deck. And if you're really just going ham on a couple locations and it looks like you're intentionally ignoring another one, in a way it can look like you're doing a Destroyer deck, but as more and more people see Galactus come down, I think they're going to get used to it. Alright, so I could Wave here, and then Galactus next turn. Yeah, it won't really like reduce the death enough for me. But my concern here is if I go Electro this turn, I think I go Electro Wave Galactus. They may just play a Sarah this turn, like trying to set up for like a miracle turn, especially with Miniaturized Lab. I'm gonna play Mr. Negative. So far, we're destroying 7 cards. I don't think they're going to play anything else on the left.
Galactus.
It's going to go boom. And then I think we just go Death Taskmaster and hope that they don't have like 0-cost Iron Man, which they do not.
Victory.
So yeah, that's kind of the generic game plan of the deck. Is we haven't had any of the games where you want to fall back on Destroyer, but that does happen occasionally, especially with Throne Room active right now. Destroyer into Taskmaster is so much power. But the general kind of main game plan that I try and follow is try and set up these Galactus into Death and Taskmaster turns, and it does work out fairly well. I'm still learning how to play the deck though, so I still make a ton of mistakes all the time. But it's a very fun deck if you do happen to pull Galactus. But yeah, that's going to be it for now, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what other decks you want to see, or if you have a deck idea for either Absorbing Man or She-Hulk, let me know down below in the comment section, and we will give them a ride in the next video. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next time.